Darren, can you put into words what you're thinking right now after that performance?
It was a long afternoon, Ben, and you prepare for a game, as we did all week. We had a full week to prepare for this game against a very good team on the ball, and possession-based team. And you're 2-0 down after 13 minutes and you think this is going to be one hell of an afternoon, because you're struggling against a team that just keep the ball, and you don't know whether to stick or twist. If you go too far and press them too much at times, they'll pop round you. If you sit off them, you're letting them have the ball. So it was a horrendous start. And at that point, it's you just manage and trying to stay in the game if you can.
Yeah, and as you've sort of mentioned, all the work you've done sort of goes out the window, having conceded, I think, without getting a touch of the ball.
No, we didn't. We've switched off. Layers run past H. They've crossed, they've scored. Couldn't be an easier goal. And we've lapses of concentration. Second goal, we give the ball away in a terrible area that punishes. As we've seen this season, teams don't need too many opportunities to punish you. The quality they've got. He's touched, he's banged it in the goal, and at that point, 13 minutes in, you're thinking, well, you've just got to hang on in there. But unfortunately, where we're at and where some teams are at the Championship, and I would include Swansea in that, there's going to be days where you have to suffer. You're going to have days like this, unfortunately. You just are, because of the quality, and sometimes our level of performance isn't there. The players stuck at it in the second half. We didn't go under, we didn't concede any more. Danny's made a couple of good saves, to be fair. So you have to try and take some positives out of it, but today we've suffered badly, and the goal right on half time, I mean, our organisation went a little bit when it went to 2-0.
Both sides playing similar formations, similar styles, but it was sort of chalk and cheese in the performance. It was they seemed to have more energy, movement, and willing at times. Is that fair, Darren?
It is. It would look that way because we were 2-0 up after 30 minutes. Both teams scored in opposite ways. Psychologically, they're popping it about. They're confident. We're not confident. That's what happens as human beings. They're a good team at the best of times, but when they go 2-0 up, they've got complete control of the game. We had a couple of opportunities. Tom was at a shot and Sammy's had a chance, but they were way ahead of us today, way ahead of us, because they're a good team and we were off. But like I say, unfortunately, and it's hard for the fans who've travelled such a long way. We are going to have days where you're going to have to suffer because of the quality of the opposition, and today our level of performance, like I've said, was nowhere near the level it needs to be to compete at this level.
Yeah, you mentioned 1 or 2 chances. It's not a criticism of Sammy, but it's one of his opportunities. If he takes that at 2-0 to get it to 2-1, is there a hope you can get back in that, Darren?
Well, there's always hope, and Tom would have shot to keep it safe, and then Sammy's had a big chance. If you get the next goal in a 2-0 game, it makes a big difference. And the third goal at half-time killed the game off. But I just ask the players not to go under and stick together as best they can and try and play more as a team as opposed to we were playing as individuals, because we lost. Our brains went to mince a little bit when it went to 2-0. We're running all over the place and not how we worked on. And that can happen because the confidence goes out the window. But listen, we have to move on quickly. I'm not going to ignore it, but we just have to move on quickly.
And it's easy for someone like myself with hindsight, but the Idris Kanu and Harrison Burrows known for their ability going forward. Away from home, do you sort of regret them with the
No.
challenges that they were going to face defensively?
No, you pick a team and you trust your players to do the job you ask them to do. And I'm not going to sit here and start criticising individuals. It's a team game. There's mistakes made in every game of football, and sometimes you get punished for it, and sometimes you don't. And today, for the first 2 goals, we did. But no, on reflection of performance, Harrison's been one of our best players in the last game and scored. I wouldn't leave him out. No. And Idris came on and did ever so well to get us a win against QPR. I thought they both deserved to start. It was a different type of game today, but they know that that they're better than what they showed today. As we are as a team, sometimes it happens, and thankfully we've got a game on Tuesday. I'm glad we've got a game so quickly after that.
Looking at other positive, Johnson Clark-Harris back, had some minutes today. Must be pleased with that. And how do you think he's looking generally in that?
He's looking okay. Obviously, we've had him out for a period of 4 games. He's back now. It's good that we've got this ban out of the way. It was sort of hanging over him and hanging over us, so that's why we made the decision to get out of the way. And obviously, he adds to what we've got, and he's different to what we've got in terms of forwards. We've got a couple coming back in a couple of weeks as well. So we need bodies back, and it's good that John is back.
Other positives, results, I don't think any of the other relegation rivals have won, and as you said, back at London Road for a team-game stint next.
Yeah, it's going to be, we know, or we knew what we were coming into in terms of the quality of the league. And today we've seen that against a very good team. But we made it easy for them in the sense that to concede 2 goals in the first 15 minutes. But yeah, listen, we're 5 points out of the relegation, I believe, with a third of the season to go. You know, if you get to the end of the season, you've sort of done your job. But I don't want to be looking at league tables too much. I want to just concentrate on each game as it comes. And we've shown in many games this season we can compete. Today, we didn't.
And finally, from me, Darren, you've talked about not getting carried away after the 2 victories, and I'm sure the message will be the same after today's defeat. But has the away form got you more concerned than you have been previously?
The away forms, you'd have to say, is a concern in the sense that it's not 1-0 margins. You know, we're losing quite heavily away from home. We obviously addressed that in the last away game at Hull. But we've got 2 home games, and then we've got another international break, which is the last one until March. So then there's a heavy schedule. We know we have to improve our away form. You know, it's an easy thing to say. We have to find a way of improving our away form. But when you come up against a team like that, and the first 50, you cannot concede 2 goals in the first 50 minutes of a game, of any game, but especially against these. You're just opening yourself up, because they are so good at keeping the ball and so good at dragging you out to then beat the press. It became very difficult. It was a long afternoon for everyone.